Okay, let's talk about this latest film, see how they run. So before we get into it, go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're so close to 25K, less than 800 subscribers to go. But let's talk about this film, which I got a chance to see early. I think it's going to come out in about 2 weeks, and we'll definitely come and revisit it in 2 weeks to talk about the ending. So no spoilers here, nothing of that. So this is just a pure spoiler-free review. Should I go see this movie? I'll tell you at the end. So this movie basically is a whodunit. I am a fan of whodunits. I like getting to this whole thing where we have this crime that's committed and then we have clues laid out throughout where we're trying to figure out who exactly was the one responsible for whatever this is. Now, in the case of this movie, it is the murder of a director and a not so likable director, but I really won't get much into spoilers here. So this film I thought was good. I really do enjoy it and I did like it. I would definitely revisit it again. And I think that the pairing of Sam Rockwell as well as Saoirse Ronan together in this was great. I think both of them are very much so good at the line delivery they have to give, as well as the humor and everything. They had great timing, and I've always said this so many times, horror and comedy, timing is everything, because if something feels slightly off, a little too early, a little too late, it ruins the whole joke and the whole comedic part of it. But I think that in this movie it was done good. I found myself laughing throughout many moments here, and I think that it was good. But I also do think that the comedy might have been a little bit too much, where you were coming off a joke and then you have another joke, so it kind of like you miss that joke and you're just like, oh, whatever, you know. And I think that that's something that's very special about comedy and horror, is that they are, I think, some of the hardest genres to pull off, because if that comedic timing or horror timing aren't done right, it's just like, well, what was that, right? So I really did enjoy the movie for its comedy, but sometimes I think that the pacing in the movie was my biggest issue, not just with the comedy, but with the story in itself. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing I think is wrong with this movie, in my opinion, is the pacing for it, where I think it started off like strong, and then it sort of started to mellow down, and it sort of started to feel a little stale for me, in my opinion. Like, I was just watching and chuckling a couple of times, but I wasn't ever engrossed in the story in itself, because I don't think I ever felt the need to be engrossed about it, because I feel like the stakes or any of that was never high enough for me to really feel like, damn, what's about to happen, right? And I think that was one of the problems with me. I think once we got to the last third act of the film, that's when things really picked up, and that's the only reason it became a good movie, in my opinion, because that third act was really, really strong. And I think that was due to some of the actors that were given a little bit more time to shine that weren't really throughout the film. And I think those actors sort of carried that weight over. Like I said, I think the two lead actors, Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan, are great in this, and I think that they definitely carry the movie. Not to say that the other actors aren't good or anything like that, because I do think that everybody here played it 100%, but I think the way that the movie was edited as well, with so many flashbacks, that it kind of felt a little bit like, okay, we're back and now we're here, so like, where are we in this timeline and all? And then the split screen of aspect of the movie is something that I think was not that much needed. I think that it sort of took you out of certain scenes that were sort of filled with tension when you do that split screen, because split screen can work. Like, I do agree, it does work sometimes, but in the case of this movie, it just took you out of the whole experience of it. I think the story in itself as well was great. The whole like mystery and the twists and turns of the whodunit were done beautifully, I think, and the way it ended as well. But I do believe that the way the dialogue and everything happened at certain points was a little bit off, in my opinion. Just from how some of the characters acted or talked, and then later down, like a couple of minutes down, were completely different. It just felt a little bit jarring, in my opinion. But overall, I did enjoy this movie. Like I said, I do think it is worth a watch, especially if you're a fan of whodunits. Is it on the caliber of movies like Knives Out? I don't think so. I think Knives Out is just an anomaly when it comes to whodunit, because that was done so well and just layered perfectly. But I still think this movie is worth a watch for sure. So definitely go check it out. Matinee price if you can, or your Tuesday discount, definitely, or if it's streaming. But I definitely do like to see movies like this with an audience, just to get the reactions as well. Just like how I say with horror, it is definitely a genre I want to go see in theaters. So if you could catch it at a discount or anything like that, I definitely do recommend it. And definitely just watch it if you can as well. If you don't go watch it in theaters, if it's out on streaming or any of that, definitely worth a watch. But like I said, I think the comedy was great. and I think that the two leads were amazing, but the pacing and some of the stuff in the middle just felt a little bit off to me, and slow pretty much is the word I was looking for. So that's kind of what took me out of it, but I do recommend this movie for sure to check it out, but like at a matinee or a discount price. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on See How They Run, if you've watched it or not. Make sure you hit that notification bell over here so you know when videos drop. We do have our podcast dropping tonight, as well as we will be going to see Barbarian, so videos on that tomorrow. So I'm excited about this one because a lot of good chatter for this movie, so definitely excited for that. And we do have our other podcast episode dropping on Friday, so go check it out. I think we fixed the Buzzsprout and everything, so you're able to go there now, so try that out. We do have our talk about the Venice Film Festival's movie release that were released, like Peril, Bones and All, tomorrow. So we'll discuss what was said about those movies, the reviews and all of that, because we are definitely excited for that. We will be watching Pearl next week at a screening, so I'm super pumped for that because that is my most anticipated movie of September. After that, we do have The Woman King, as well as Don't Worry Darling. So we still have a ton in September, as well as Smile, and then Fantastic Fest. I will be blogging that for y'all, so I'm excited. We got a ton of stuff in September coming for you, as well as some other stuff we'll talk about, because we're going to be introducing a new segment to the channel, hopefully something that's going to be that y'all will want to see for sure. So stay tuned. We got a ton of stuff. We're working behind the scenes. We still got the gaming, we got the anime stuff, and also music. That's for another video though, because we got a ton of stuff coming for you, especially once we hit 25k and we do this giveaway we're going to be doing. It is going to just, like, we're going to continue trajectorying towards that 100k, because that is our goal for the year, 100k. This is the first video where I say it, but we're going to be hearing more about that pretty soon. So appreciate you. Make sure you check out all our other videos when they appear here on the left as well. Make sure you follow us on our social media, Twitter, TikTok, all of that. It will be provided somewhere on the video for you to go check us out over there. We post different types of videos there, not the same here, so it's going to be different on each of the places you go check us out, whether it's Twitter or TikTok, but it is still going to be all the same stuff you love about movies, TV shows, and other stuff that we will be introducing. But as always, that's going to do it for me. Let me know your thoughts on See How They Run, if you liked it or not, once you check it out, and we will talk more about it once it does release. But as always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.